Good evening and welcome back to another Fantasy Football Fix daily price change predictions video. My name is FPL Nacho and this is the series where we discuss potential FPL price changes to help you build that essential team value. Now, worth mentioning, we are recording this before the Game Week 14 final fixtures, so be sure to head over to fantasyfootballfix.com to check out the price predictor, as that will be fully up to date off the back of hopefully a Harry Kane hat-trick and maybe even a Mason Greenwood goal. Who's to say stranger things have happened? So in this video, guys, we're going to be mainly looking at a certain Man City midfielder who is highly on people's watch lists right now. We're going to be discussing him in comparison to other midfielders at a similar price bracket. So as always, guys, we use all the information on fantasyfootballfix.com, the leading FPL platform. So if you want to win those mini leagues or improve that overall rank, head over to fantasyfootballfix.com or download the free app, link in the bio. And if you want to show some love, guys, make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. Right, guys, we're going to kick off this video in usual fashion, just quickly covering the potential FPL price changes going into tonight. So as I mentioned, we are recording this before the Spurs fixture and of course the Man United Arsenal fixture. So there could be updated price changes. Be sure to head over to fantasyfootballfix.com to check out our price predictor. But as you can see, the graphics around me have all the up-to-date information. So you can see all the details here and some of the players in question. And yeah, to be fair, there's not a huge amount of price changes tonight. Usually with those Saturday deadlines, we do see Friday being the most popular day for transfers while people wait for those press conference newses. But there are a few notable players that are rising and falling in price, and none more so than Bernardo Silva at Man City. Currently over 125% on the progress bar. As you know, once it exceeds 100%, we are expecting them to rise in price. And off the back of that goal in Game Week 14 and his recent form, looking like a really good option in that Man City midfield with the likes of Grealish, Foden, all being injury worries over the past few game weeks. Bernardo Silva has been someone who's really stepped up to the plate and quite surprisingly been a good FPL asset, as years gone by historically hasn't necessarily been the most attractive asset. And at 7.3 million right now, we are predicting him to rise in price to 7.4 million. So if he is on your watch list right now, on your radar, on your teams, and you really can't afford that price rise, it might be worth just making that transfer tonight to avoid any disappointment. So Bernardo Silva is the only one that's predicted to rise in price tonight. As I mentioned, tomorrow we do have a lot of potential price rises and fallers, so be sure to head over to tomorrow's live stream at 5:30 to check that one out. But a few notable price fallers tonight is going to be potentially Tielemans at Leicester. Again, he's just sat below the 100% threshold, but at 0.2% per hour progress. If he does continue at this rate, we are predicting him to fall in price. Again, at only 3.5% ownership, don't think that's going to affect many managers. And the interesting one that I think should be on people's watch list is going to be Man United's Mason Greenwood. Of course, one of the real value players at the start of the season, been hindered by Cristiano Ronaldo being back in the side, I think, and the likes of Sancho taking minutes away. But a 6% ownership and 7.3 million right now, we are predicting him to fall in price to 7.2 million. And with the new manager in charge and the swing in Man United fixtures from Game Week 15 onwards, I really think Greenwood should be a player on everybody's watch list right now. Of course, he could be a rotation risk, but if he can cement himself as a starter in this new team, under the new manager, he could be a brilliant differential going forward. But again, we might need to see a little bit more from him to actually justify him as an FPL asset. So that's a quick roundup of the potential FPL price changes going into tonight. I think the big topic we are going to discuss is Bernardo Silva, and we're going to do a comparison against other assets at similar price ranges to let you know who the best options are going forward. Right, guys, for the main part of the video, I've headed over to Fantasy Football Fix's Fix Comparison Matrix to check out a comparison between Bernardo Silva and fellow midfielders. But first up, I just want to give a quick shout out to fantasyfootballfix.com. For those who don't know, you can download your team for free on the site, which gives you access to free tools. And importantly, you do have the opportunity to sign up to a free trial, which gives you not only the free tools, but the premium tools for a limited amount of time. And with all these game weeks coming over the winter period, there's no better time to do it. And honestly, guys, with the likes of the Fixed Comparison Matrix, with so many game weeks coming thick and fast, I know there's no better time to do it. So honestly, I really do recommend checking out the links in the bio to sign yourself up for a free premium trial. Some brilliant tools available. I know it's helping me with my game week ranks. So In this comparison, we are doing Bernardo Silva against fellow teammate Gundogan. Obviously, the budget pick Gallagher, who's been in brilliant form this season. Maddison, who's kind of arisen recently as an FPL asset, and of course, probably arguably the best value player in the game right now in Diogo Jota. So, fixed comparison matrix here. What I'm able to do is filter it by certain underlying stats to compare them against one another to see who is performing in each department to get a clearer picture on which asset to pick going forward. And the great part about this as well is we do have projected points over the next 5 game weeks. So as you can see there, Bernardo Silva is predicted to score 22.5 points over the next 5 game weeks. And that's second best only to Diogo Jota, who of course has got 32.5 projected points. Now, that is taken into consideration Firmino being injured over that period. It's worth noting. So if Firmino was to come back into the picture, that would slightly dampen those projected points. But Bernardo Silva in comparison to Gallagher is miles ahead with 16.9. Gundogan on 15.9, of course, missing out in game week 14, probably hindered his projected points going forward as it's unclear on his status right now. And Maddison on 14.9. Again, only taking recent data, so his projected points aren't necessarily being established on big data, which Bernardo Silva we are able to use going forward. And again, with the prices, we can see Bernardo and Gundogan, 7.3 million. Jota, rightly so, the more expensive asset, and Maddison and Gallagher more in the cheaper area of the midfield price. So we can see first and foremost, Jota leading the way on points on 76, Gallagher on 70, and Bernardo Silva just slightly behind on 69, with Maddison and Gundogan a little bit below, but Maddison, a lot of his points being picked up over recent game weeks. And goals, again, we're really mainly comparing all these to Jota because he is playing as a centre forward. I don't think necessarily we should be directly comparing Bernardo Silva to Jota because of the positions each take in their retrospective teams. I think Jota is just a bit of a enigma, really, and a bit of a unicorn player right now. So just take his underlying stats with a pinch of salt with Jota. But you can see there, Bernardo Silva, 5 goals. A big part of his game that I think he has brought into this season because obviously, and historically with seasons gone by, not really been an FPL asset because of those lack of goals. So great to see him get 5 goals. Gallagher on 4, and then Gundogan and Maddison on 3 apiece. The FPL assists, again, another factor that Gallagher's added to his game with 5, but Bernardo Silva with 2 there, alongside Maddison's 2, and Jota only with 1. With the touches in the opposition box, this is really where Bernardo Silva comes into his element. Of course, Jota in a league of his own again, but 65 for Bernardo Silva, way more than the likes of Gallagher, Gundogan and Maddison. And I think that's a real important stat to see there, that he is getting into those attacking thirds. He's not operating as just a centre mid in that Man City team. We see here with shots again, 15 for Bernardo Silva, the least of any other asset that we are comparing to. I don't think that is something to read into. I do think that his shot volume is a bit of an issue as an asset. Being very clinical, obviously scoring basically a third of his shots. So it's worth noting that probably isn't a sustainable stat going forward. You can see there with Jota having 33 shots and even the likes of Gallagher having 26. I prefer to see shot volume at that sort of level when we're paying the sort of price that we would do with Bernardo Silva. But the big thing here is Bernardo Silva's bonus points, getting 9. Of course, we know he plays 90 minutes, getting those passing tiers, he's getting those basically those match winners as well against Aston Villa. Jota, on the other hand, with only 2, he's really getting hindered by his lack of minutes. Only playing 70 minutes, obviously 75 minutes, hardly ever finishes 90, and that really does hinder him for the bonus points, whereas Bernardo Silva really is ticking along nicely. And at 7.3 million, those bonus points will really rack up going forward. So in terms of who is the best asset going forward, I think another comparison I just want to compare is the expected FPL points. This takes into account expected goals, expected assists, and kind of gives us a rounded number on where these assets are at. And we can see that Bernardo Silva has an expected FPL points of 68.05. So he is right on par with where he's operating right now, which is great to see. It's showing that he's not overperforming or underperforming. He's really on a good level right now. Gundogan on 55.80, so should have really scored more points than he has right now. It's worth noting. Gallagher on 68.78, again, operating right on that line and really good to see as an asset right now, 6.2 million. Maddison on 48.34, again, slightly overperforming, but small data there. And Jota on 76.33. So again, mainly all these assets are operating exactly where they should be right now. And I think that's the big thing to factor in. I think the fact that Bernardo Silva right now is getting the minutes in the Man City team and Man City's fixtures going forward are still very good. I think he is a nice option at 7.3 million. My one worry would be with the shot volume and with the likes of Grealish, even Kevin De Bruyne coming back into the side. I think going forward, we might see him operate a little bit deeper in this Man City team. So if you are in the market for Bernardo Silva, I think he is an attractive asset right now, but I would heed caution going forward. At 7.3 million and that shot volume right now, I don't necessarily see him increasing that in the coming game weeks with all these premium assets coming back into Man City. So although I think he's a good asset, I probably would say avoid Bernardo Silva going forward unless, you know, the likes of Gallagher and Maddison really don't fancy your pick going forward. But Diogo Jota is in a league of his own when you're looking for midfielders. Okay guys, that's going to wrap up today's Fantasy Football Fix price change predictions video. Really hope that's provided some value, and of course, as I mentioned, not as busy with the price changes tonight. It's worth checking over on fantasyfootballfix.com off the back of the Man United Arsenal fixture and of course the Spurs Brentford fixture. Who knows what's happened there, and that could change the way the price change landscape is looking. So be sure to head over to fantasyfootballfix.com and check out the price predictor. And importantly, tomorrow night we have another live stream, 5:30 p.m. UK time. Be sure to set those reminders because I'll be going live for an hour discussing all good things FPL. There'll be plenty of price changes and importantly, an opportunity for you guys to ask any questions you want in the live chat. I'll be able to use the Fantasy Football Fix website along my own opinion to help you get those FPL transfers sorted. So guys, if you want to support the channel, make sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully it has provided a bit of food for thought going forward, and I will see you guys 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. Cheers.